My best friend told the tattoo artist to write slut on my back while I was passed out. 3 months later, she lost her fiancé, her friends, and her home. Tanya and I had been best friends since 7th grade, almost 15 years. I was the one who stayed up past midnight rewriting her resume until she landed her nursing job. I drove 45 minutes to her apartment at 2 in the morning when her ceiling started leaking. I planned her birthday dinners every year, covered her share when she was short on rent, and when she got engaged to a guy named Kyle, I spent 5 months helping her plan every piece of that wedding because she said she couldn't do it without me. Kyle's allergies, the vendor deadlines, the bridesmaid measurements, all of it ran through me because Tanya didn't have the patience for details. I was also the one who patched things up with people she upset. I had a whole system for it. I would call them after, soften whatever Tanya had said, explain that she was stressed or going through something or just had a sharp sense of humor. I lost count of how many times I made that call over 15 years. I never thought of it as covering for her. I thought of it as friendship. So when she suggested matching butterfly tattoos for her 30th birthday, I said yes without a second thought. She picked the shop, the artist, the design. Hers came out clean and simple on her upper back. Then it was my turn. I laid face down on the table and Tanya leaned over to the artist and whispered something I couldn't hear. I didn't question it. I had known this woman for 15 years. She sat next to me the entire 40-minute session, talking and laughing, keeping me distracted from the pain. When it was finished, the artist showed me the butterfly in a hand mirror, centered between my shoulder blades. It looked exactly like the design we agreed on. Tanya hugged me and said we were bonded for life. 4 days later, my younger sister was helping me zip up a dress and froze. She pulled me to the bathroom mirror. Right underneath the butterfly, in thin lowercase cursive, was the word slut. My sister kept saying my name. I couldn't hear her properly. I just stared at the reflection, trying to make the letters be something else. They weren't. I called Tanya. She answered, already laughing before she said hello. She told me she had been planning it for weeks. She had shown our entire friend group the night it happened, and all of them had been waiting to see how long it would take me to notice. She said it was the funniest thing she had ever pulled off. I asked her why. She said I always walked around acting like I had everything figured out and someone needed to humble me. I told her she had permanently put a degrading word on my body. She told me to relax and said she would pay for half of removal if I stopped acting like she had committed a crime. I told her I was done. She laughed and said I would come crawling back within 2 weeks because that's what I always did. I hung up. I never called her again. The next morning, I went to a removal specialist. The word had been placed deep into the skin and removal would take 8 sessions over a year. Each session cost $400. Tanya never mentioned paying for any of it after that first phone call. What happened next had nothing to do with me. I didn't plan it, didn't arrange it, didn't even know about most of it until weeks later. Without me managing wedding logistics, things started slipping. Tanya missed a deposit deadline and lost the caterer. She ordered centerpieces with peonies even though Kyle was severely allergic because she had never bothered to keep track of that detail. I had always been the one who remembered, but none of that is what ended things between her and Kyle. About 2 months after the tattoo, Kyle's younger brother Eddie was going through a brutal breakup, the kind where he stopped eating and could barely make it through a workday. Kyle's whole family was being gentle with him. Then at Kyle's father's birthday dinner, full table, the whole family seated together, Tanya looked directly at Eddie and told him maybe his girlfriend left because he was boring. She said it grinning. Nobody at the table laughed. Eddie set his fork down quietly and walked out. Kyle's mother put her hand over her mouth. His father didn't say a word, just stared down at his plate. Kyle pulled Tanya aside afterward and told her what she said was cruel. Tanya told him Eddie needed thicker skin. Kyle told her to apologize. She refused. She said his family was too soft and she wasn't going to pretend someone's feelings were more important than a joke. Kyle didn't push it that night, but he told a mutual friend later that something permanent shifted